Welcome to the Three River Valley series for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. We're picking up on the 22nd of September 1982, so we're going into another winter. In this video, I want to do two things. I want to carry on working on this new town here in preparation for populating it in the next upcoming year, because it's too late in the year to try and get a population in here because not everything is finished. And also what I want to do is carry on planning our new area over there. But before that, I just need to talk about something which is quite important. Now, if any of you are followers of Boljo's channel, you'd be aware that he has now started a full-length series on the new update. Now, I haven't really looked at it that much. I took a quick sample of his first video, but what I'm taking from that is that the devs have now reached a point where they're quite happy to start showing more detail to the wider community. And I feel that that means that there's a possibility that we could be looking at the new update dropping into the Steam test branch, possibly as early as next week. And when that does happen, I'm going to shift a lot more of my attention towards that new update, because there's a lot in there and there's a lot that needs to be learned. And I think it's not going to be a case of just, well, I'm just going to start a series and play, because what's coming up is very deep mechanics. It's also the fact that if you look at the roadmap for what's left to be developed before the game goes into full release, there's no more some really significant mechanics to be added to the game. So I think this update will be the last big burst of mechanics. Then the following updates will be more about optimization and polishing the game and adding more detail. That means that when the update goes into the stable branch and when I'll be starting a new full-length series, this will be a full-length series which could run for a very long time, which means that I do really want to get a fully comprehensive understanding of the new mechanic so that I can work and develop a fairly substantial series, because I still got this ambition to really fully develop the map. And I'll give you a little bit of a hint, guys. I am working on a new map which I will be using for that series. So what all this means is that when the new update drops into the test branch, what I'll be doing is I'll carry on playing the Three Crosses series, because I will be using this series for a little bit of experimentation as well. What will most likely happen is the number of videos on this series per week would probably drop to 1, possibly 2, with other videos related to the new update. So I just want to give you guys a bit of a heads up on that, what's going to happen. But I still would like to keep this series going through that testing phase, because there's a lot more things that I need to develop and get going. So that out of the way, guys, what I'm going to do is just give you a bit of an update. There's not that much of an update to do. In fact, probably the most significant up part is here. This sewage problem seems to have settled down now. Now I've turned the water on, but this is still dropping a little bit, so we're going to need to keep an eye on that, because if necessary, we may have to get rid of one of these septic tanks. So there's still a little bit of a unbalance here. Now up here, we've got quite a lot of steel, which I'm sitting on. I'm not exporting at the moment. And I want to draw your attention to this area here and the fact we've got a helicopter platform here, because what I'll be doing is using this when we actually put in our new electronics capability. Now, the other thing I want to do is just want to check what my rail guys are up to, because I really need to push these forward a bit. Wow, we're down to 1. Right, where is this one job? Where are you? Okay, you're actually building out towards the our distribution office there. That's good. Does that mean I've finished everything over here? We've got, this is all built in. It's good. And but we've got one little bit that needs to be built there. And we've got this area here. I think before we push out any further, I think what we're going to do is I need to electrify all this area here. That mean we've got electrification up to here, yep. Okay. So we're gonna start electrifying this. Got that built there. And I think we will, oops. I am gonna start electrifying this as well. I think I might have just electrified the crossover. That's okay. It's not that big a problem. And then what we're going to need to do is start pushing this out. We've got this bit up here needs to be electrified as well. Oh no, most of it's been done. Let me just check this area. Just press shift. Okay. We need to do that bit as well. Possibly down to there. I don't really want to go any further into here because we need to build that back curve first. So I think what I'll do is I'll just add that to the list so that we can get all this electrified in. Where is it? Was lost where I'm working. Okay, do that as well. So that is the current situation. Now this area here is generally built up. We've got fire station, we've got fire. Where's that? That's the Tudor linen factory. That should be okay. We've got a medical university here. This medical university is ready to go. One thing I will be doing is when the new update does drop, we'll be looking at research using this map. But what I'll do is I'll make a safe copy. And what I'll do is hopefully be able to switch on research so that we can have a good look at the tech, possibly even start researching it, because I've got no idea what will happen to the game with the fact that. So what we might do is just switch on the research and then see if we can get some of it done so that I can get a feel for what the different research actually is. And I think that would be a self-contained experiment. But oh, one thing I did do is I forgot to build the road here. I think we're going to bump that priority up a bit. Now, generally, this place is good to go. The real problem we got is the water and the sewage. We've got sewage line coming in from there. I think this is ready to go. This is the water treatment plant. You need chemicals delivered. We're going to need to set up a chemical delivery route. I'll do that straight away. Where's the North Camp food export? Where are you? Oh, you're a long way away. I suppose we could deliver the chemicals to here. To a little bit far away, but I think from the beginning, from the moment, we can use this just to load up the chemicals. So put that in there, 100%. I mean, it's only going to put in 6 tons of chemicals, which is more than enough. I think that will work. Now, the big problem I've got here at the moment is these sewage lines here. You can see that we still need a lot of prefabs to get done, and I think at the moment we might have a shortage of prefabs. Let me just check. Oh no. So we're really pushing out the prefabs. So it's a very real possibility it won't be until the main part of the next year before we can get all this filled in. I mean, we've got plenty of accommodation. We've got this accommodation. What I'll be doing is populating this accommodation first, then slowly moving people in. We've got 400 odd over 21s, plus we got the surplus that I've built into our new town. So that is ready to go. So what we're going to do now is just flip over to here. This is the area we're working on, and in the last part I put together 4 chemical plants here and a couple of forests here in order to produce chemicals. Since the end of that video, what I've done is I put the road in and a vehicle unloading bay here for the gravel. I'm going to speed the game up actually. Now, I did toy with the idea of using trains to put the gravel, bring the gravel in, but to do that, what I would have had to have done is put another connecting curve there, and I don't think that the gravel consumption is big enough. So, what we're going to do is we're just going to stick with the these 2 gravel. Yeah, picking up from these contain gravel. Looks like we might need to get some extra production in. But what I am going to do is to shorten the route, because at the moment to pick up from here, these guys would have to go round in a great big circle. I mean, another option is you've got that there. This stop sending them yet because we're not using it. I think what we're going to do is we're going to put a road in here. Kind of. And I'm just gonna, what I'm trying to get, because we've got a pickup there, but horrible. Okay, change of mind. Let me just remove that. I wonder if I can get direct vehicle pickup from here. Let me just see. Truck loading. Oh no, that one. Where's the vehicle thing? Train, I don't want that. Truck loading. If we could get that just tucked in there, it'd be a bit of a tight fit. Oh wow, okay, if I could get that done, that would be brilliant. We can build that, and then it means that the trucks will come over here and draw off of this aggregate store. And thank you, game. And deliver to here. And what we could do is if we could get a little distribution office in here. Whoops, wrong place. Where's the distribution offices? We get a distribution office tucked in just in here. That can be used. Now we can then use this to ship the gravel across the bridge here. Oh, here, sorry. Now, one thing I am going to need here is a technical office. So partly what we're working on now at the moment is some of the detail, and I want to put a technical office just in about there, because keeping this area clear of snow is going to be quite important. Now, before we start working on the plastics, I do need to put in, originally we're going to bring the workforce in from there. So and I still want to do that. So what we're going to do is come in here. We're going to put a big train platform about there. I think if I put it there and get it in as close as I can, what we can do is when these roads are built, what we can do then is connect these in with roads, and then hopefully that will put, this will be in walking distance of all these chemical factories. So that's going to be our primary drop-off point. Also, there's a possibility we may get a footpath into this side of the map as well. Of course, we're going to need to connect this up with the rail track coming in here. I'm kind of thinking I'm not 100% happy with this. We may need to re-divert that into this area. So we're now looking at what we're going to need to do with respect to plastics, electro components and electronics. Now, before we get started, I just want to look at my economy and look at last month. So you can see here that we need a vast amount of electronics. I mean, last month we imported 10. You can see last month we imported 31 tons of electronics. Now, I can't see me getting 31 tons of electronics out of this area for the moment. Partly because, well, a lot of that as electronics will need to go south. So to begin with, we're going to plan a area here. Now, if I was going to play this series on a lot longer, what I would do is plan another, because this area here doesn't have that much oil. I could produce some more electronics down in this area, which is a possible option. But the problem we got here is that we've got this here is a chemical plant. We've got some production of oil here, but it's not brilliant. So, but if we could produce some electro components here, we might be able to get something done. Anyway, I'm getting a bit distracted, but if I was playing this in the long term, what I'd be looking at is getting out to this big oil field here, and then we'd produce even more electronics over here. But I think in this area, we're going to have to be a little bit circumspect to begin with. Anyway, so that's why I'm not going to go major out. Plus the fact we've only got 4 chemical factories here, which, if I remember correctly, chemical factories, which gives us, say, 12 tons of chemicals. So roughly, it's because each one of these produces 2.7 tons of chemicals. Now, what we need to do is look at the plastics industry. What I have done is I've actually gone through all my mods and brought in any ones of interest for this exercise and added them to the list. So we got the standard plastics factory is 6.6 tons, which is not too bad, but I know from my 7 Crosses series that I need 2 of these to support 3 electro component factories and 2 electronics factories. So that means we need 12 tons. But what I am very tempted at is to build this, which is way over the top. But the way I'm thinking is that if I go build something way over the top, and you can see that that gives me the extra capacity. And 22 tons of plastic is massive, but this is a very big factory here. Let me just turn that way. And what I'm thinking is that we could put this in, say, here, like that. Maybe we're line it up. Now, I want plenty of space for put stuff over here. So I think we'll start with this plastic factory. I say I accept it's way over the top, but that is what I would like to do. Because one thing we can do, if we produce a big surplus of plastic, we can always reduce the workforce. And more importantly, we're going to need some plastic to be able to ship to what we call it, to our vehicle construction factory. Although, to be honest, it's very unlikely that we're actually going to build that. And next thing we're going to need to do is put a pipeline in, underground pipeline. I'm not sure. Hopefully this will. Help. It's now the problem is. Just see, cancel that. I want this to flow into the electronics factory, and this road's in the way. So what we're going to have to do is put in another pumping station like this. Have to put it in. Well, try and keep it kind of a little bit away from this area. And we'll put you there. That's a be above ground connection. And we'll connect you into there. Like that. Now, so that means we're going to get oil flowing into here. Now, the other thing we're going to need for a plastics factory is chemicals. Now, the other thing we're going to need, because off this plastics factory, we're going to have to build an electro component factory, which is in this area here. And again, we've got this big factory here. Where's this one here? Our standard electro component factory produces 3.1 tons of electro components. This one produces 5 tons, but I'm kind of half inclined to come here. The only problem with this factory is it doesn't have all the extra connections. So what we got here, this is 3.8, this is 3.8 tons, this is 1.8. We got this factory here, and what this factory actually needs is steel and chemicals and plastics. Now also the plastics factory needs chemicals. Just to show you that this is where this can get very tangled. Yeah, we need chemicals and oil. So what I'm going to do is we're going to put in my big warehouse here. We're going to put this warehouse here, and this should take the plastics and the chemicals, and then what we'll have is the electro component factory. One are we going to be using? It's the bigger one, isn't it? The 5-ton one. What we'll do is put you about there, like that. Now what this will consume is, this will consume 2 tons of plastics to make 5 tons of electro components. I'm kind of thinking that might be a bit too high, because I'm kind of thinking that I could possibly get in 2 electro component factories in here. So let me just see if I can do that. Maybe we can put this down about here. We put you about there, and then we put in a component factory up about that high, and then we turn you round. Okay, can I move you a little bit higher? If we can get, I really would like to get to, because I'll be completely upfront when it comes to this. I rather plan to produce, overproduce than not produce, if that makes sense. I think if we kind of tilt you a little bit, there. Don't really want that road, but I want to preserve the fact. Actually, if we come in like that, we move up a little bit, tilt you a little bit, get that there, put the factory connection into there, like that. So we got that electro component factory there, and then we can put this one, put you about there. So we're in a kind of a, oops, trying to put you back to back, kind of running in an angle like that. Get rid of you. There's no. So we got 2 electro component factories there. And then what we'll put off the back here is the electronics assembly hall. We're going to go with this one. Actually, these will put out electro components. I'm wondering. Yeah, I think what we'll do is we have electro components there. We've got plastic coming out that way. We're going to need to deliver chemicals. I'm saying from here. So this is really should need a what we call it, a cargo shed. Let me see if I can get in a cargo station in here. We only need about a 441. That's not going to connect to there though, is it? That's not going to work. What we're going to have to do is over a bit. Put the cargo station in you about there, like that. And we'll put the big plastics factory back in. Of course, I've messed up the pipeline, haha. But that's okay. We can fix that. Like that. This is where the pipeline is going to tell me that this is too short again. That means the pipeline will have to be built in 2 sections, but that's okay. This road can come out. Actually, that works a bit better, actually, from the road point of view. That road can connect there. This one can connect to there. We could possibly bring the road out this way. So we got this factory. So we got the output of the plastics and the chemicals stored in here, which will feed the electro components. Let me just check this. Now the electro component factory needs steel, and it can store 15 tons of steel. It consumes 1.9 tons of steel per session. Now what we do need to do is look at the electronics. This needs mechanical components, right? So we've got these two here. Need something that will connect them to not going to work, is it? Let me just see. I don't want a vehicle production line. I want a answer. Gonna need is a electronics factory there, but we're gonna need a warehouse for the electro components. So we're gonna need another warehouse. This is gonna get messy. This needs steel. Let me just check. It is steel, isn't it? And this needs 15 tons of steel delivered. I think I'm going to remove this. I think we're just going to stick with one of these for the moment, for a reason which I'm just going to explain. This will produce it's a big one, isn't it? This one will produce 5 tons. This will consume 2 tons. Right. So we've got to have this factory here. This will connect up to here. This will hold the chemicals and the plastics. What we are going to do then is put in a small, what we call it, open hole. I'm going to put a small open hole here. We're just going to kind of put you a bit like that. And then what we're going to need here is a warehouse. I should have planned this a little bit more better, actually. And we're going to put, I'm going to put the big warehouse at a slightly angled. This will make sense, guys. Actually, aircraft on a bigger platform than that. That's what I'm looking for. Wait. I'm going to put you out there. Remove you. Then we're going to put a warehouse in here. I need to connect. I'm going to put you in about there. So what we got now is we got this producing electro components. This can put it into the warehouse, which means we can move electro components out, bring in steel, and also what we can do is bring in mechanical components for the electronics industry. And if we come to the electronics industry, electronics assembly hall, we can put you about here like that. I'm just gonna put you about like that. So what we got is a plastics factory, warehouse, electronic components. We got the ability to deliver the mechanical components, which is required by the things, and the only thing we can't get into here is plastic. So we're gonna have to. Oh, it's all a bit of a jumble, isn't it? But I can't think of any other way to do this. I mean, ideally we could do it with a pass through from here to here, but if we're over consuming here, let me just see. And also we need chemicals, don't we? Thank you, game. Yeah, we don't need chemicals, we need plastics and mechanical components. I think what we will do, how much actually, what is the storage for here for plastics? 10 tons. It will consume 3 tons per day, and 2 tons of electro components. I think what we will do is we will give me one of my small storage barney things. Storage, small barn. This will store 22 tons of. We've got a rural store here. Put a rural store in, say, about there. Actually, we could put it this way around, like that. And then we can put a cargo connector. Probably a bit something like that, actually. That means we can deliver the plastics on this side. We've got the warehouse here for the import and output there. We've also got this bit here. These have actually got rail connections, so we can export the electronics from here, plastics from here. So the next thing we're going to need to do is put a rail line in. And come out quite straight like that to begin with. So we need to get over about there. And we're going to need a crossover here. That. Come around here like that. And then we're come over. This is wrong. Okay, please, like that. We come like that, and then we'll queue up to there. Queue across to hook up to there. Then we can bring a power line out from there, hook you into there, and go up to there, to there, and can do is bring you out like that. Curve you, nice big. I should have known that would happen. Okay. Right, let's trim you back. Bit of a tip, always do the inside curve first, because the inside curve's the one that will always give you that horrible message saying that the curve is too tight. So we've now got this area here. One thing I will do here is I don't really want the trains going all out around there, so what we'll do is we'll come out branch here, that. Although strictly speaking we shouldn't really need one to come from that side, but then we'll put you up there. That. So what we've got now is we've got the ability to import and export components, which is needed for the electronics factory and the components factory. So we've now got two options. We can either use the helicopters or the trains. Actually, do I really need this? The trouble is we need to bring in steel. Still. I'm kind of thinking, have a little bit of a try here, guys. Just put in, we got a cargo, we could put a cargo station in there. I could get a cargo station in there. Let's see if I can get this fitted together. We put a cargo station there, and we're going to need to look at my collection of open stores. We don't need a big one, we just need something that's reasonably small. Looking through, let me just see. We could put store mouse. Where's all my open storage? We've got open storage small. Yeah, that's the 1600. Wow, I don't know how that can be defined as small. That looks good. We could get you. It's definitely, yeah, it says 700 tons of steel. So if we do that, and then we can get rid of this line here. The only problem we're going to have is a very tight turn curve into here. It'd be tricky. That's going to have to come into about there. As we got, that would be perfect, but the problem's going to be is whether we can get a crossover on this corner. No. Okay. We do this. What I have to do is come out fairly straight, a short distance. I have to put a very close. That's not going to work. I think, consider the amount that we're going to bring in here. I think what we'll do is we'll just do this, something like that, so that this can come in here. So that's actually made things a little bit better. Only problem is we've got this now enclosed with rail tracks and things. So we're gonna, the road out of here is going to be a bit tricky. In fact, we'll probably have to bring the road round across here through and up round that way. Wow, that's a bit close. So we got that area there. We got the plastics delivered into there. Got the cargo shed there. We've got this one with a cargo shed there. We'll leave that connection so it can deliver directly into there. I'm not sure why that's. Oh, I'll just leave that, I think. Right, so select the rail track. Accept that. We can demolish it that way. So that tidies that up. We've now got this rail connection into here, which can bring in the railway goods into here. We've got the chemicals into here. We've got this here. Getting the staff in here is going to be a bit tricky. We probably just take a quick look. Yeah, we got path connection from there to there, which is good. We put that in there. We can bring the workforce into here. Take the road connection off from here to here, and we've got, so just to double check this all the way through. So we've got the plastics factory here. The plastics factory needs oil, chemicals, and it will export plastic. So it can push the plastic into here, which can then be taken away somewhere else by train or pass through to the electronic components factory, which is this one here. This one here. It's this one, is it? Which needs steel and plastics and chemicals. So because we're delivering chemicals into here, so we get chemicals from this one into this one for the components. That will deliver the components. We get steel from here, and then the electro components can be pushed into here. Now this electronics factory will needs mechanical components which can be brought in by train, plastics which we'll have to deliver, and then it will put the electronics back into this. So this will hold mechanical components and electronics, and the chemicals will come in from this side. So that means that we'll have a distribution for electronics from here and a distribution for plastics from here. And if this starts to overproduce, what we can do is actually put another warehouse on here for further onward distribution as well. What's stop production? That's bad news. Going on. That is not good. This is the problem we've had before. We're going to need to keep an eye on that. Anyway, we're now in winter, and I can't really afford this video to go too long. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back up here and catch up and find out what my rail crews are doing. If you're curious why I'm not worried too much about the what the rail curves down in the other area are doing, the reason for that is that I don't really have that much. I don't really need to worry too much about what they are actually doing, simply because, uh, wow, simply because what they're actually needed to do is not quite so important. So we got that there, we got that one there, we got 3 running. And where are you working on? Where are you? Okay, so you're now getting up past the distribution office here. How's what we need to construct into here? Is this being built all the way through? This again is these little crossovers that often have the problems. Just get that built. We need this one built as well, so we'll just add, I think we can add you to the list as well, so that this can actually get sorted out. You into there. It's actually been electrified. Let me just check here. Shift. Yep, this has all been done. We'll get that built in there. Right, we'll just zip over to our new town. I'm more interested in the wow. One's nearly finished, but it still needs a lot of prefabs. This is the problem with these sewage pipes. This is one of the reasons why I've been very reluctant to kind of push these out too far. I mean, this isn't an excessively long sewage pipe, but it's still going to need a vast amount of prefabs to get this done. We actually need to build this as well, and I don't think this is actually allocated. Yes, it is, but let's have a look. Okay. Need that built as well. No point if we haven't got a processing plant, then it's allocated. Being built. Yeah, it's a bit of an oversight there. And I think the main structure of the town is now built. This is built. So if I go to where is it? There's a in here somewhere is a distribution office which I've built specifically to supply the food, clothes and meat to this area. In fact, I think it's this one. It's got all the pickup points but nowhere to drop off. And you can see it says there, it says Clotherton supply. Gonna start supplying the food to there. Everything. How much capacity? I think we're put this to 90%. Get that done. Anything else in here? Got the indoor pool. Got the hospital. So we got our university over there set up. We've got the school on that side. We've got the kindergarten there, though we're probably going to need extra ones. We've got a bus platform here to pick up workers, and of course we do need this built actually, because this will be a supplementary passenger pickup point. Even if it's got no rails, we can use it as a bus station. Although to begin with, what we need to do is say I don't want anyone in there just for the moment. Fire station, but we've got no fire crews, but that's okay. You actually, let's just check, take a quick look at the power distribution. Make sure, yeah, look. So it looks like we've got power coverage. We've got power coverage up to here with this here. Where's our water supply? You've got the chemicals. This is okay, not sending. Yeah, just there. You've got power as well. One thing I do fancy putting in is we've got a footpath from there to there. We don't really have a footpath from here to there, because we've got to have workers into here as well. Anyway, this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. What I'll do is I'll play through until the end of February. But until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.